This is not necessarily how I wanted my first week's video to go, but I guess here we are. Hey y'all, I'm AyeeHolla. I am a multi-hyphenate with ADHD who cannot get any of her products out, so I live in shame and sulk because as a creative, I like to call myself creative, but I have imposter syndrome because I don't do anything because I get so procrastinated and just don't do anything, and then I get depressed because I don't do anything. And now I'm 27 and I feel like my life is over. So I went to South by Southwest and my best friend lives there in Austin, Texas. Go watch that video, by the way. She had these. And I said, oh, what do you have these for? She said, I got these for Jaw because he does the same shit. He's very creative. He just procrastinates. He doesn't believe in himself. Now, I do believe in myself. I just have ADHD and can never get anything out there. She says, you can have them. I said, oh, I can't take these from Jaw. It was a present. She said, no, trust me, you can have them. It's been in my Amazon cart. It's been in my half price books cart. It's been on my Christmas list. Cutie. See, look at me distracted. It's June 1st. I said 2025 was going to be my year. Per every year, I say that year is going to be my year, but I really do feel something within 2025. So I'm going to take you guys along my journey of recreating myself as the artist that I would like to be. I'm going to reach after one and see where the wind takes me, whether it's my personal brand, my business, one of my projects. Maybe it's going to make me do all of them. Back. So it is day 3 of the artist way, and I'm failing miserably at the morning pages. I am not doing well. It's really hard for me to be consistent in the morning, like especially working from home. Look at this blend. I'm a man with wet hands. Touch my face and move my blush. Bastard. Anyways, I have a really hard time being consistent, especially with writing. Like, I need to make a timer or something. Because working remote and then getting up and having additional things to do before getting up and working remote, I already just roll out of bed and do what I need to do. But I put on a little outfit. It's a little... My hair looks cute. I feel a little confident about my face. I feel like I'm looking pretty cute. Not as cute as usual, but cute enough that I'm going on a little solo date. I'm going to a little market that I saw on TikTok. It's like an artist market. And the goal was to like then sit down and do my own painting or drawing. But I'm going to do that in the house. It's like kind of cold and rainy. But I am doing my artist date. I thought I was going to count it as going to a dance class this week. But all my friends were there. So I feel like that's not really an artist date if like you know everybody there and it's a very comfortable space. It's not putting yourself out there. Let's go on this adventure. I am a sucker for little things like this. I love this. Ooh, a puzzle. I want to get something. So expensive. So look how cute. I did in fact get a puzzle because everything in there was so expensive, but this is the puzzle and I was like, I would do anything for a puzzle. But the first puzzle I saw was like $40 and this one's only 20, less than 18. But I also am inspired to go play with my paints and stuff and go do like a little food spread. I really been thinking about tomatoes. I feel like pickles would be fun to draw too. I don't know. Anyways, I say all that to say, what a fun little artist day. Week 1 of the artist way, I have definitely failed. It's supposed to be the start of week 2 today. But I just went out and went to TJ Maxx and got this cute little artist. Can you see the pattern on it? So I'm going to do all the activities, and I didn't know there were so many activities, so I have to do that for the recovery aspect. And the morning pages, I also just like kind of flopped on. I don't want to rush the process. There's just a lot going on. And these are excuses. These are my artist excuses. So I need to just say fuck it and do it and take my artist 75 hard seriously and do all the things. I need to go finish the recovery aspect and really dig deep, and I'll let you know my findings when I do. Tis me, your favorite AyeeHolla, and I'm restarting the artist way because the first time I failed, and I don't know if I'll put this in the first video or the second one and do like a little 2-part one, but here I am, week 1, and we're gonna come back stronger. No distractions. Like, I got this, I got this, I got this, and I got the workbook. Life is good. Jumping back into it, I feel crazy, but I also feel good. I'm ready to lock in. Let's go. I literally am just here to say 3rd time's the charm. I failed myself 2 times in a row with this challenge because I can't wake up early enough to write first, and I felt like that has been a failure. So instead of pushing through, I stopped, which shows a lot. But here I am at 8:30 a.m., which is still not as early as I intend, but we're gonna be positive. The artist way for the 3rd time. Oh God, okay. Cheers to week 1. We're gonna do it this time. We're gonna do it this time. We are gonna do it this time. Goodbye. So I'm here completing week 1 of the artist way, and I feel a little bit behind because it is kind of budging into my next week, but I wanted to do the tasks because I feel like they've been super important to the process. And I feel like if you are doing something as serious as this and you don't fully dive in and fully take on all the tasks, it's like, are you even really completing the goals that you have to do in order to get the outcome that you want? I'm going to do the time travel activity. So in week 1, they say, list 3 old enemies of your creative self-worth. Please be as specific as possible, and your historic monsters are in the building and they are blocking your core, and they're the reasons why you're blocking and believing in core negative beliefs. So they want you to write out this one horror story from one of your monsters. I have a few, because one of the activities are writing all the blurts and the self-doubts that you have in your head throughout the process, and writing down why you have these things. Like, I have them because I had a dance teacher that told me to get the fuck up, you piece of shit, and that'll never be anything. And that is a true story. That person is one of my monsters, and one of the reasons why I do have self-doubts in my creative journey sometimes. So they say write a letter to them, and then write 3 champions and write a letter to one of them. And you can mail it, or you can mail it to yourself or whoever. And I'm gonna take the time to do that today, along with a check-in. To start off, you have to pick your enemy, and you have to draw a little picture, and then you have to write the description of what happened as one of the tasks. So to start it off, I'll just share a little bit because I'm not going to share it all. Big head, big blockhead, little tooth, big gum, narcissistic, grooming ass bitch. See, blockhead. So now that I did that, then the second part is to write a letter to the editor in your defense. Mail it to yourself. It's fun to write this letter in the voice of a wounded child to whom it may concern. And I could write a letter to myself, healing. Little me does not deserve to hurt. Little 16, 17, 18-year-old me does not deserve to feel that way as a dancer. Dance was my everything at the time, and now I finally, 10 years later, I'm getting back to dance, but it does weigh on my mental health. And my creativity as a dancer has been a lot harder jumping into it than what it was when I had the confidence as a adolescent, which is weird, but it's like facts. My inner child was wounded by this person. It feels so good to write my inner child list. And I talked to someone recently about the artist way, because I met someone and they're like, I'm also doing the artist way. And I was like, oh my gosh, let's be accountability brothers. And they were like, lovely. It's just so emotionally draining. I understand after making it through the first week, because you're actually like ripping yourself apart like an onion and like digging deep. But for the arts, like it is as deep as therapy, but it's bringing you back to something that you love, like creativity, because everyone is a creative, and creativity is known to be very frivolous in this community. Like, oh, if you have the opportunity to be creative, it's like you must be living lavish. And then the second part is to write about champions. I have a lot, but it's hard, and this is probably a problem. It's hard to think about specific reasons why there are champions that I just remember. Like I had a art teacher in college that invited me over for Thanksgiving, because it was like still COVID times, but she just dropped food off. She was great. She was amazing, like best art teacher ever, and it was all virtual, but you could still feel that love and like companionship that she had. My mom is always supporting me and always like, you can do everything. Like, she's also a hater sometimes, so I put her with a grain of salt. She's like, are you being realistic? It's like, I can do whatever I want to do. I have a friend from my dance team that just is so genuine in himself and always shares the love, and is always just so positive and down to earth and realistic and always hyping people up. But like, you can feel the genuineness from him. And I have friends, like I have a few friends that will just reach out and be like, I miss you. You're the most creative person I know. Like, I love everything you're doing. I'm always here to support you. And it's all about genuinity. So when I find that compliment somewhere, either in my archives or remember a certain moment or something, I am going to decorate a little card and post it on my mirror. Now, checking in. Check out is the main word I can say, because I don't finish things. And it feels so good to actually stick to a plan. Do the morning journals every day but one. Wake up, write, complete the task, do my artist date, take time to be creative, take time to bloom and blossom and really do what I want. One of the main things I took away from this week that wasn't even necessarily the artist way was taking your creative and making that your full-time gig, and thinking that your 9 to 5 is just a side job. It's just something to put bills on the table. It's just something that you gotta do. But your creative aspect is your main thing, so you need to prioritize that so you can sustain life. And that has made me feel so alive, because work is just work. I need to eat. I gotta put a roof over my head. I gotta do the minuscule things to make money. But as I am building my creative empire, that has just made all of the difference. And it's really pushing me to want more and do more, which I'm not used to, but I love it. I think something I have realized deeply in myself, I'm a negative Nancy. As positive as I like to think I am, and I have a lot of self-doubt. And it just comes by when I'm trying to do something and then I find an excuse or a reason that seems completely logical to me at the moment to just not do it. Like, for example, I stopped week 1. I've done this 3 times. 3rd time's the charm. I stopped both other times because I missed a day of journaling, and instead of just picking up and starting on another day or starting later, I said, nope, I'm not doing it at all. Actually, I'll start again tomorrow. And I do that a lot. And I even went out and bought a new journal. I said, this is the journal I'm going to start with, because the Artist Way workbook that I actually have right here, that has the morning pages that you're supposed to do, like, and it's marked off like 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. I started writing in here, but then starting week 2, I'm starting off on number 5, and it tweaked my brain out. And I was like, I don't want to do it. Like, I could just keep writing in here. But I was like, this needs to be completed. And if I miss a day or 2, it's in here, and it's okay. And I can do my work and my tasks in here and keep my morning pages separate, and it will be okay. Just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And my friend told me the other day, she sent me a TikTok, and was like, you need to stop being perfect. Stop working on perfectionism. And I was like, I don't have perfectionism. I don't even have a product to put out there to be perfect with. And she's like, girl. But now as I'm doing this, I'm realizing I kind of do have perfectionism. Not that I'm like, oh my God, it needs to be perfect. But I'm like, it has to make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, I'm not doing it. But art is messy. And it doesn't always have to make sense. So something that I've been really striving for is these affirmations. Because I have a lot of blurts, and these blurts are that I'm a mess, imposter, I don't practice enough, other people are better than you, I'm way too inconsistent. Being a multi-passionate is not real. It's not applicable. Like, you can't do that. And every day, I'm telling myself 10 times, I, Aaliyah, am a talented, multi-passionate creative. Like, I am, like, hate me, hate it for what it is, but I am a multi-passionate creative, and that's what I'm here to do. And then I had to turn all of those blurts that I just named into affirmations. I'm a serial idealist. I create unique experiences. I'm unique to my own style of art. There is no art like my own. I am dedicated to my personal growth and development through mindful habits. I follow through and show up for myself. Like, doing these things, I just have to keep saying it, because even reading those out loud, there's a little voice in your head, and that's the first chapter is all about, the little voice in your head saying like, bitch, what? And those are real. And it doesn't matter how positive, how on top of things you think you are, you're just not. So anyone that knows me knows that if my art, all this art stuff fails, I want to be a marine biologist, and I love sea life. I'm watching Shark Week right now as we speak, and it's just like, if I could just scuba dive and snorkel and release turtles my whole life, I would. I bought some oil pastels from Hobby Lobby. I'm not saying I'm completing my artist date right now, but I just took myself to Hobby Lobby, and even though it's Hobby Lobby, I just went shopping, got me some art supplies, which is like an art host favorite thing to do. I just love Hobby Lobby, love Michael's. Like, spent me a whopping little $10. Got me some oil pastels. I can't wait to color. Like I said, I would, because that was my little artist date all the way back on Monday, and I made a jellyfish. I didn't finish it. I think I wanted to go the darker route and make it all dark and like fill in these highlights, but I started doing that, and I love her. So I've been loving my oil pastels, and just like, even to sit down and be mindful and get off the screens and do something creative has just really been so peaceful. I spend a lot of time doom scrolling, so to be able to pick up my markers or crayons and be a kid again and create is very soothing. And it's also making me think, like, do I need to go back and become an art therapist, because that's my real calling? We'll see. But stay tuned for week 2 next week. Bye. I see why Doechii did this, because this is game changing, and I feel like by the end of this, I will be who I want to be.